Hi, welcome to the award-winning Ed Brown Show. You know, people want to say, hey, Ed, what's all this black stuff? What's this? Your attire, ever since Las Vegas, boy, I've been mourning. And I thought I was going to take it off this time, but what happened in Baltimore up there today? Another shooting. So, hey, can't get rid of it. Not my fault. I'm just calling them like I see them and like you should see them, because this is something that we need to deal with. We have some special guests here. We have Sherman Hardy from the 9th District, Councilmatic District, and we also have Peggy Morris. She's with the Four Sisters Network. They finally decided to, hey, let's have some men in this organization and find out, get another viewpoint. And that's what we need. We need everybody's viewpoint, whether it's right or wrong. Hey, Sherman,
hey,
welcome back to the award-winning Ed Brown Show.
Thank you for having me, Ed.
Now, young people, that's my thing. And I was so proud the last show that we talked about you jumping into the water. Sometimes that water can get hot, sometimes it's cold, but you got to be ready for all of it, because we have a situation on the top of our country here that if you're not ready for everything, you're in bad shape.
Oh, yes.
So anything may happen. But tell us, this organization here is Four Sisters. Tell us a little bit about how you feel that it's going to be a positive thing for the 9th District.
Well, definitely, Ed. I met Peggy, who was with Sisters for Sister Network, through a couple of acquaintances, and it opened my eyes to a lot of things that were happening in our community. A prevalent problem, not only in the United States, but right here in our county, is domestic violence. So, I said that we need to talk more about this because, did you know that for every minute, 20 people are being assaulted? And that number is astonishing.
And this doesn't include the kids.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
definitely. Not only that, but domestic violence happens with teenagers in school. So it's a lot of things that we have to start opening our eyes to and changing the culture and the conversation about these things.
Well, really, it's preparation into the system, because just like anything else, domestic violence is part of human nature. We don't accept it that way, but it is. It starts with baby coming from a woman's womb to protesting through sounds and action that we as human beings have difficult sometimes controlling. So you feel that having an organization of this nature is a positive thing.
Oh, no doubt. Definitely. We need to have organizations like this and more of them, but also increase the mental health awareness and start partnering with these organizations. I definitely would like to hear some of what Peggy thinks about, domestic violence in our area, and also about what we can do in order to further her cause and, bring more awareness in our community.
Yeah.
Well, what happened, Peggy? Tell us about this title here, this Four Sisters. How did you come up with that? What does four mean?
Well, Ed, really it's Sisters for, the number 4 Sisters Network. What can I say? We have a lot of history, and it's about 15 years of history. But to make it short, back in 2002, I saw a need for women to get together or provide a platform for us to come together just to support and to educate and empower each other. I didn't know that it was going to turn into what it is today. We have initiated maybe roughly over 500 women over the past 15 years being part of a network.
Well, what about, organizations like yours, it doesn't attract a lot of volunteers and a lot of funding. How do you get past that part of your organization?
Well, that's a good question, and I'm glad that you asked. We found out that it was easier for us to put together funding in our own way, and this through membership. And surprisingly enough, it works. But we realized that we really want to do more in our community, and so we realized that we needed to go to the federal government, to the state and local government to ask for help. So at this point in time, we are going after some funding because there are issues like domestic violence, there's issues like mentoring and educating our young people, and health and wellness, just to name a few of the things that we're addressing now.
What about along the lines of educational level? You hear people mention the fact that domestic violence, the children are an important part of this program because they're the ones that really suffer.
Yes.
and don't have a voice. They got to take whatever environment that they're
living in. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. These young kids are really having a rough time because time has changed. When I was coming up, there was no cell phone, there was no mobile, there was no iPad, or even down to computers, nevertheless.
Right.
I'm really telling my age, but that's okay. But my point is, it's like we have to come together collectively to really address these issues because if we don't do it, as we see now, who else is going to do it?
Right. And, you know, it's not just telling your age, but, you know, I came into, you know, my teenage years and we didn't have cell phones as much as, you know, the younger age do as well now. So now you have kids who are being stalked and teased and, you know, bullied, you know, via so many means. And it's so easy and prevalent that it's just something that we need to start advocating for a change within, you know, how we operate and know and understand that, you know, just because they tell you that no one's going to listen, but there are organizations and people who are going to listen to you, but you have to know where to find these resources. So that's where we come in, you know, at the county level is to partner with nonprofits and different organizations to bring awareness and say, hey, if you're going through these problems, this is who you should reach out to.
Well, you know, one thing, what you're saying is quite true, but funding is one thing, and I think I talked about the funding that the school system lost through Head Start program, which I thought was very, very negative. And now the federal government has given $28 million for 3 years, and they lost the 6.4 for Head Start, which Head Start was a proven program.
Exactly.
It's over 20 years, you know, and I just didn't understand it. And I'm concerned about management of funds going to organizations that are in dire need of that dollar that they're not putting it where it should be.
Exactly.
And I just think, you know, the point of not having order in 8 years is striking me. You know, I think about that order in 8 years, the number one item in your educational budget, and it's not ordered. I think those are things that with your organization that's out there volunteering and a lot of times doing without the proper tools in which to work with, and why the legislature, they should make sure that, what they call that, money management.
Yes. Definitely not only management, but we need to determine how we're going to allocate these funds. And not just, you know, say, okay, well, we have the money, but what are you going to do with it? Where is it going to go? It's understood that the funds are going to be brought in order to increase the amount of quality teachers that we get in the area, as well as to give them their, you know, the raise that they haven't received over the past few years. But, you know, is that going to actually happen? You know, or
and
are we
who's going to make it happen?
Exactly, or are we going to give the top of the hand?
Yeah,
really
accountability. Accountability should fall on someone's shoulder specifically, not how the system works now. the low man on the totem pole
Right.
takes the blame, you know, where the people that are given the responsibility are not performing like they should.
Right.
So the programs like what you have, Peggy, there, and what you're thinking, those are basic programs that
exactly.
have proven
Right.
themselves to be very, very positive.
But we talk about basic programs, but we should have the basic facilities.
Right.
There are schools in my district that doesn't have the quality drinking water. And we talk about Flint, but we may have a Flint right here in
Right
Prince
in our
George's County.
community.
Yeah,
Exactly.
right. And don't
And we need to
realize it.
start, exactly.
Right.
So these are some problems happening right here at home, and not enough awareness is being brought to that. We keep talking about 45 and what's going on at the national level, but what's going on right here in Prince George's County? Can we get more awareness and more vocal people in our community to talk about these issues?
Yeah. Well, what happens that I've observed is that the legislators, they do their job in getting the money, but apparently Prince George County gets plenty of money. I think it's money management. I think the fact that their priorities are set, and then the management of that money for these programs, and instead of being at the bottom of the ladder, they should be at the top of the ladder, because they decide the future. And the future are the young people.
Yes. Yes. It's my belief that, there should be no barrier when it comes to our children. I always say, if we truly believe that our children are the future, then we need to remove any obstacle, any stumbling blocks that will hinder them from fulfilling their full potential. Because we don't know who our children are going to become.
Right.
We know their circumstances now, but we need to prepare them for the future.
That's right.
Because we can all day say, oh, they're going to be great, they're going to do this, and you have the full potential to do whatever you want to be in life. But it starts in school with telling them how to get to that level.
Well, the other thing that the officials are saying, they talk about the different things, the needs of the school, but I've been pushing money management, because this jurisdiction, we get plenty of money, but I think the money management is one of the basic things. What happened with the Head Start program shouldn't happen. On a program that you have had 20 years. You shouldn't, because you didn't dot every I and cross every T, lose the program.
Right.
And this is the thing that I'm really appalled that Prince George County did not perform basic on a Head Start program when it was a proven program. Exactly. It wasn't something that it's something new. You're gonna have problems. It was something that someone dropped the ball with that, and some people think in terms of elected school board or appointed. Well, there's chances go along with that it can be appointed and that it can be really voted upon.
Right.
But what's happening, I feel, is that the people that are taking the responsibility, instead of them taking the responsibility, they're passing it to the junior executive. And in that Head Start program, a lot of junior executives lost their position.
Right.
But it shouldn't have been that way.
Well,
see.
not only that, but as I've continuously stated, we need to make sure that we partner with our organizations that are right here at home.
Right.
Because I know Peggy is very vocal when it comes to a lot of issues. So having her and the various other people in her organization to backfill some of the and assist with some of the government agencies to be on some of these councils and actually not just
participate,
say, and not just say, okay,
Right.
well, we heard what you said, thank you for coming, but to actually implement some of those things, because they are on the ground
Wow.
talking directly to the people in our
Exactly.
district. So it's,
Exactly.
you know, that's why I believe that, and that's what my campaign slogan is people first. We need to get back to the core of it, and it's the people of Prince George's County. So, you know, definitely, Peggy, I applaud you for all the things that you do.
Thank you.
Well, I'm hoping the two of you get together and really work with the management of that $28 million next to get some of it coming your way. And what we're going to have here, we're going to have Monica Chestnut, the executive director, give us more information. We'll be back in a second. Hey, welcome back to the award-winning Ed Brown Show. And what we're trying to do here, we're trying to get some money here together for this organization. This organization is the Four Sisters. We have the executive director here, Ms. Chestnut. Tell us some of the goals that your organization want to do this coming election. We got an election coming up, and I think that the barometer your organization should use to get the right people in office.
Sure.
And the only way you can do that is do your homework in voting.
Yes, and get involved.
Right.
First, you have to want to get involved.
So
and we are involved.
Tell me your plans for this coming Congress coming up, whether it's on the county level, state level, or the national level.
Well, most of the things that we're into right now are on the county level. So we're dedicated to changing lives in Prince George's County in order for them to change lives in the county and wherever they go. So we've implemented 6 programs, I believe. We have a program where we focus on domestic violence. We have a program where we focus on seniors, women in
Great.
particular, but men are invited to come in. So
Don't forget the seniors.
no, we have them. And in doing so, we kind of are in partnership with 2 nonprofit organizations. One is Heaven's Plate. LaShawn Dunbar is the director of that organization, and the other is in Charles County, and it's called the Arno House. And we've started this kind of campaign, 2 counties, 1 vision, where they go out to,
That's a great idea.
yeah, right, where they go out and
Pool
they
your sources.
pay. We're 1 state, right?
You're right.
So, you know, and in doing so, it adds value to this. County level people are running for state level offices.
Great.
So if we're bridging the gap between 2 counties, but we all have the same vision, for that particular representative who's running, he should be looking at the organizations under the umbrella of Sisters for Sisters Network.
Right.
We're a membership organization. We are across the board, but we want to bring all the resources for women, children, and their families to everyone who is seeking them first, and then reaching those who don't even know that those resources
Tell
are
us
available.
a little bit about contact and volunteers.
It is a total volunteer organization, and sometimes I think
this is the time to make it known to your representatives
Yes.
that,
Yes.
that you are out there and you're looking for volunteers and you're looking for funding for special programs.
right.
Ed, we love you on that.
Yes,
front because
yes.
we've been working very hard over the past, say, 6 months and looking at where the funding is.
Yeah, right.
And where we can go after the funding. That's
Right.
the most important piece.
Right.
And I think we're doing a pretty good job in pulling it together.
Yes, I think we are. I think that we are juggling several things. We're working on a fundraiser. If I could talk a little bit about that, we're working on our 15th anniversary gala and Community Stars Awards, where we're giving awards to those in the community who are truly, and I'm not talking about just for stage, but who are truly making a difference in their communities And you're going to hear us say a lot, changing lives to change lives. You know what I mean? So again, if I change your life, that empowers you to go home and change someone else's life.
right.
And now you have a whole home where lives are being changed, putting everybody on one platform, getting involved in your children in their school. Changing lives to change lives is like a rolling ball that can only get bigger
Right.
if we all put the resources together to get it out there, and that's what Sisters for Sisters Network
Now,
does.
do you have a political action committee?
That's a little touchy, and we try to keep it kind of separate on what we do. We're about educating and educating who are the players and who's running. We cannot get actually involved in saying you must vote for this individual or not.
No.
But
you can get involved in voting.
educating.
Yes.
Educating.
See, our part is we want to
to the point
educate.
of educating how important. Right now, the average person doesn't know what's going on in Virginia. A governor is being elected, but the average person don't even know that voting is coming up.
Well, and what I found out that a lot of people, when they go to the voting polls, they don't even know who they're voting for.
Right.
Exactly.
They don't even know what the issues are.
Right.
And we want to, as an organization, begin to address that
Yeah.
and educate our people. So when they do go to the polls, they know exactly what they're doing and feel good about
Yes.
making
Yeah.
that
Right.
choice.
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's one thing I stress with voting on all levels. Do your homework.
Do your homework.
Do not depend on Aunt Susie and Uncle Sam and all of them about someone
That's right.
that's going to be making decisions
Making
on
decisions.
your future.
Without a doubt.
What you want to do is do your own
Exactly
homework.
right.
And although we can't,
And most people, they depend on other people, say, well,
Yes.
Sister Susie, what do you think? Oh, well, he came by and waved at us a couple times, you know. I said, but positively, what has that individual done? And where does it, and the first thing you want to do is ask a politician, what do you think about term limitation? And see what kind of response
that you'll get, yes.
Because you have some people been in there 30, 40 years,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yes.
And they have built up a situation where name recognition, oh, that's Frank Jones, he lives around the corner, you know.
But you know what I see what's happening, and I love what's happening in Prince George's County, is that our young people are stepping up. And women are stepping up to the plate.
Yeah.
And it's time. It's perfect time to
Definitely.
do that to happen.
It's time. And Richard Wright, the great poet, say, you're not free unless you're economically free.
There you go.
And this is what you have to pass on to young people. Hey, help them get into some kind of business. If it's just lemonade, you know what I mean? I mean, get
I have
them
a good
into that
friend.
atmosphere.
I have a good friend, George Frazier, and I know you know George Frazier, and he would always say, bake some cookies, put them in a box,
Right,
tie a ribbon around it, and sell them.
right. That's
And so
it.
this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to encourage the women in our organization, and not only the women in our organization, outside the organization,
Yeah.
to think entrepreneurship.
Right. That's it.
We want them to have their own.
That is the answer, and the young and the old, the same
we
thing.
have
It's-
I'm sorry, but we have two programs that I think will put a smile on your face. One is Mentoring for Success, where we give a year's membership as a scholarship for 4
Congratulations.
wannabe businesses, maybe in the infancy stage, but not sure. And we're bringing them in January, the class starts, and we will mentor them into entrepreneurs.
Business. Beautiful.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Okay.
That's the key, because you're not going to, no one is going to legislate the business world to you.
That's right.
You got a good example of that now in office, you know. Anything to make money is me, you know, for
Yes.
myself, you know. But
Yes.
what we have to do is get into the entrepreneur. Let the young people
Yeah.
see what you're doing, how do you make money and what you do with the money
With the
that
money
you
you
make.
get, exactly.
Money management.
That's it.
Well,
Well,
what's
I was at
management?
a PTSA meeting last night, and it was 8th grade back to school night for the 8th grade parents who are transitioning.
Yeah.
And at this particular school, they have formed forces with math and social studies,
Right.
where they're teaching financial literacy.
Beautiful.
This school is amazing, not just because I'm the PTSA
Right.
president,
Oh,
but
you
just
did.
because.
Right.
Just because you have a principal who was excited. They were bringing in, Prince George's County has so many programs. When you're coming out of school, transitioning into college, transitioning into technology.
That's a big step
Yes.
They have
big
a
step.
lot of programs.
because what people really don't understand, I know I was brought up in the era, you know, you go to college, get an education, work 40 years and retire. See, that's antique now.
No.
The youngsters
Yes.
have to be told you get into the economics of the
That's it.
system. No matter what kind of system it is,
Without a doubt.
get into the economics
money
of the
is.
system. And that is the future.
Yes, yes, yes. It was amazing. The parents were excited. It
Yeah.
was Samuel Ogle Middle School right here in Bowie, Maryland. It's just one of the best. And when you are a parent, whether you have time, whether you don't, if you're a parent and you have a child in school, you have a student in Prince George's County Public Schools.
Yes.
I don't work for the county. I'm just on the Samuel Ogle Middle School PTSA. But if you at least volunteer to be on a call, on a conference call, on a committee, even if you can't make it to a meeting, you can get on a call. If you hear one thing as a parent about your child's school, trust me, if you follow through, even if it's inch by inch, and get involved with the school,
Yes.
whether it's through PTSA, PTA, or one-on-one, you will change your child's life. Trust
Okay,
me.
give us that number again for volunteers. We need that.
The phone number is 240-678-0117.
And when we say volunteers, a lot of people get, you know, back. Well, I don't know if I have time, but usually the programs that volunteers are involved in are things that they need and like.
And it's
Most of the
rewarding.
time.
And it's
Truly,
rewarding.
truly
It's rewarding.
And that's the key.
Yeah.
So keep up the good work and everything.
Thank
Come back
you.
on the Ed Brown Show. So some of those entrepreneurs, bring them on.
We would love to.
Yeah, we want to see the things that you're doing there. Okay, this has been Ed Brown. I'll see you next time. I hope I don't have to mourn, you know, but hey, it's not me. It's people out there that are doing it. That's why I'm wearing black.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.